Hope everybody can hear me. Nick, can y'all hear me on there? Perfect. Yeah, we'll get started here in a second. So, a couple of things. This is all the different donations we gave. We raised a little bit over $25,000, and we gave nine different charities donations equally. $2,778 was donated to each of these here. Spirit of Giving Fund, Community Foundation of the Texas Hill Country, Texas Firewalkers, Texar, Central Texas Community Foundation, Wilco Cares, which is Williamson County, Arc of the Highland Lakes, which same thing, Burnett and that area out there, United Cajun Navy, Rotary District 5840, and the Children's Bereavement Center of South Texas. So for y'all who know me or don't know me, I'm Danny. I run New Braunfels Bourbon. We started New Braunfels Bourbon back in January of 2021. So we're almost 5 years old. It'll be just coming January, will be five. So I set this up. We do fundraisers once a year. We do a Christmas fundraiser for our group. We do Toys for Tots and other Christmas oriented giving, and then with the tragic flooding that happened on 4th of July, and then again the weekend after that, we got together and raised a ton of money, and also a lot of bottles got donated. So we have 124 bottles that got donated, and we have $25,620. I think it was the final total. So we have 1,282 individual entries. So every $20 was an entry into the raffle. So we'll get started here. Give me about 1 or 2 more minutes. Let me finish setting some stuff up here, and we'll get going. 1 second. All right, so the way this drawing is going to work, I've got two different boxes here. We got one box with all the names and one box with all the bottles. So we'll go through these. I'll kind of show you the names and the bottles here that have been randomized ahead of time from my original. And then we'll pull one, and then I'll organize this, and then I'll post a list after the fact if you don't keep up with it on there. So we'll get started here. So I'm gonna show you a couple of things here just for transparency. So here you'll see all the names. There's 1,282 entries, or $20 each. So this is everybody that entered in here. Their names are been randomized in here. So the way I did an Excel sheet, every $20 donation equaled one entry. So it's 1,282 entries, and we're going to pull 124 total here. So just without taking too much time, there's all the names, every entry is in here. And the same thing in this box. So the top hat is going to be the bottles. Let's see here. The bottles are going to be here. So got 124 bottles. Each bottle is an individual prize. So we'll draw 124 different bottles. It's all random, so I'll pull one name. And then we'll go to this next screen and pull one bottle, and then we'll organize it to try to match them up on here. I don't know if Nick or somebody wants to also try and put them in the comments, but I'll post the sheet after the fact with all those different things. So, all right. So who's excited out there? What's everybody drinking to begin with before we start pulling some names here? So. Cheers. I am drinking our rare character pick, our New Braunfels bourbon pick. So that's what I am on today. So cheers, everybody. Let's get here to start pulling the first name here. So Charles Flowers, Mike Flowers is the first name, and I'll leave this up, and I'll go to the bottles itself, and then we'll draw that and go from there. So, all right, so let's pick a name from here. So, Mike Flowers 1, Penelope Marshmallow Toast. So that's how I want to go. And then what we do is when I hit continue, it removes that bottle from the name, and same thing when I go to the name list. So we're going to remove that bottle. Going to go back to the name and go to the next one. Yeah, it's going to take a little bit. So we're going to go through them a lot quicker, but yeah. Next bottle, I guess next name. Michael Nikos. If I butcher names, I apologize in advance. So. And he won a Stag Junior Barrel number 80 out of Specs. So. Next winner is, and you can see up here, 1280, which keeps deducting. Jimmy Gillum is the next winner, and he wins a bottle of Treaty Oak Shinley Rye Barrel Outlaws group pick. I forgot to show that bottle, but it was a Shinley Rye. All right, back to the name. Dan Forth. He wins a bottle of Eagle Rare Specs store pick. So that's Dan Orth. The next winner is Jimmy Gillum. And he's going to win a bottle of Redwood Empire Screaming Titan. That was Jimmy Gillum who got that one. Next winner is going to be Joyce Yanuzzi. She was one of our donors, so let's see if she wins one of her own bottles. She wins Old Forester Barrel Proof Bourbon Liquor King pick. And that winner was Joyce Yanuzzi. Next one. Aaron Nyholt. He wins a bottle of E.H. Taylor Straight Rye. And that was Aaron. Next one. Of course, our friend Benjamin Hunter. What is he going to win? I hope he wins his own bottle. We don't have no Malort for Ben, so what does Ben win? He wins a rare character VN Viva Las Vegas pick. That was Ben Hunter with the rare character. The next one. Todd Hackerman. What is Todd going to win? Rare character single barrel TKO 220 Kenwood Liquors. That's a good one. Those TKOs are really good. And kind of a big shout out to Rare Character. They sent 12 bottles total for this fundraiser. And that was Todd Hackerman with a TKO. Next one here. Mr. Brandon Eccles. Brandon wins. Evan Williams single barrel number 935 with a dump date of 7/27/17. And that was Brandon Eccles, or Greg Eccles, G. Eccles. Timothy Bridge is our next winner. And what is he going to win? It's Blanton Special Reserve, which is actually the Japanese release. Dump date 3/7/23, letter O. And that was Timothy Bridge. And I forgot to talk about this earlier, but all these are for local pickup here in New Braunfels. If you live out of town, which we had donors from 35 different states, once I contact you, we can figure out how to get those bottles to you if you're not from here locally. All right, let's keep going here. Next name. Randall Brown. Let's see what Randy is going to win here. Randy wins the Brook Hill 9-year X was here hazmat bottle. So that's probably one of the top bottles we've got in this raffle. So congratulations, Randy. Next one here, we got Charles Somberg. You're here in the chat, so congratulations. Let's see what you win. Charles, you get a Garrison Brothers single barrel not catch strength, 47%. And that was Charles. I forgot to share the screen, but Charles is what you won. All right, next name here. Dan Orth. Can't remember if I called his name earlier or not, but Dan Orth, let's see what you win. Ardent Spirits Ruby Port at the Sinners Club pick. And that was Dan Orth. Next name. Jason Simpson. Jason Simpson is going to grab a bottle of Larceny Cast Strength C923. I think funny thing, I think Randy Brown actually donated that bottle. So Larceny Cash Rank 723, and that was the winner for Jason Simpson. The next winner is Anthony Young. Anthony Young. He is going to win a bottle of Wild Turkey 8-year 70th anniversary. That was Anthony Young. Next one here, let's go here. What's next? I'll try to speed up if I can. Casey Moffitt. Casey Moffitt. E.H. Taylor Small Batch. We got quite a these in here. I think we've got 5 or 6 of them, so we'll see this quite a bit here. Casey Moffitt. Next one. Ian Perez. Terrence Ian Perez. He's going to get E.H. Taylor Small Batch. That's number 2. That was Ian Perez, Terrence Perez. Next one. John Russell. Hard Truth Sweet Mash Weeded Bourbon, bottled in bond. Hard Truth Sweet Mash Weeded bottled in bond bourbon, and that was John Russell. Craig Wilson. Craig Wilson gets a bottle of E.H. Taylor Small Batch. Craig Wilson. Pretty sure it's number 3. I think there was a total of 5 or 6, so you may see it again. Next one. Philip Platt. I saw Philip yesterday, so what is Mr. Platt going to win here? Philip gets a rare character single barrel VTO barrel 11 sell-in liquor. That was Philip Platt with the VTO sell-in liquor. Next one. Kevin Peterson. Let's see what Kevin's going to win. Some of these names I finally know. Some of the other ones earlier I did not know, but these names I do know. Kevin Peterson with the Garrison Brothers Guadalupe 2022 release. Garrison Brothers 2022 Guadalupe, and that was Kevin Peterson. Edward Davis. It's a rare character single barrel TKO 3018 Supermarket Liquors. Single barrel TKO 301A. That was Edward Davis. Ryan Guevara. Ryan gets a bottle of E.H. Taylor Small Batch, which I actually think he donated one, so he gets one of his own bottles back. That was Ryan Guevara, E.H. Taylor Small Batch. Number 4. Who's I should probably hide. Who's that? Your name out there? Matt Rippert. Let's see what Matt is going to win. Matt's going to get a Weller Antique 107. And that was Matt. Matt with the Weller 107. Vadim, won't even attempt your last name. Vadim R. Let's see what Vadim won. Vadim with a copper and cast oak cabinet liquor pick. All right, I'm gonna take a drink break here. We got 99 bottles to go, so we've gone through 25 so far. So I'm gonna take a slight break here real quick. I hope everybody's enjoying their drinks. Sorry, it's not a whole fun show. Trying to do this quick after the fly clock. I got a 5 o'clock in the morning flight, so I got to do it quickly so I can get packed up and ready for bed in the morning. Let's keep going here. So next name. Kobe Huth. Kobe Huth. Yes, start the singing the song 99 bottles of whiskey on the wall. Take one down. Pass it around, and next bottle around is going to be Rare Character Single Barrel VTO 009 Keg and Bottle Pick. And again, that was that VTO 009 Keg and Bottle, and that went to Kobe Huth. Next name. Nick Owens. Nick Owens. Nick wins a Blanton's Dump Date 321S. Cody, that Woodford Double Oak is really good. I really enjoy that one. That was Nick Owens with Blanton's DD Dump Date 32124. And I'm sorry if you hear me repeating this, as I can go back later and make sure all the names align with the bottle winner. So next one. Ryan Orr. Ryan Orr. He gets bottle number or bottle. Yeah, make fun of Nick. Yeah, he missed. We bottled her All Turkey Infinity, and he showed up after we were done bottling. That was Ryan Orr with the Penelope 9-year barrel select, private select. Next one here. Dustin Abbott. Dustin gets a bottle of Old Forester Single Barrel Rye, 65.15% alcohol. We've got several of these barrel ryes, so you'll get this exact bottle, 65.15 on the Old Forester Single Barrel Rye. Daniel Hand. Daniel Hand. Horseshoe Barrel Company Toasted Barrel number 36. 101 proof. Horseshoe Barrel Company Toasted Barrel 36. And that was Daniel Hand. Next name. Chris Kalowski. Kalski. Old Forester Barrel Proof Bourbon. B&R Hood Pick 66.9. That was Chris Kalowski. Alejandro Gonzalez. Alejandro Gonzalez. It's a Penelope 17-year American light whiskey. 9.4. I think this is just a regular batch product. I don't think it's a single barrel. That's a Penelope 17-year American light whiskey. Alejandro Gonzalez. Charles Somberg. We got him again. Let's see what Charles wins for the second bottle. Charles, you get a Caribou Crossing. Charles Somberg, Caribou Crossing. I think I've got three different Caribou Crossings. Two are regular ones, and then one's a single barrel. Scott Ethel. Scott Ethel. Henry McKenna 10-year with a dump date of 7/31/13. Which for those that are in our Facebook group, Henry McKenna is one of those that you can put into our Infinity project we're doing. So for those that aren't in the group all the time, they're more just because y'all are in the raffle. We've got the Facebook group is our main kind of vessel. We do a couple group projects, and one of the group projects we're currently doing is we've got honey sitting in a ex-Weller foolproof barrel that had our Wild Turkey Infinity previously, and then we're going to let the honey sitting there for about 2 months, and then going to dump a bunch of Elijah Craig Infinity products. So Heaven Hill products, Elijah Craig, moving wheels, all that into there. So that's in the process of doing that. Next winner we've got here. Timothy Owens, Dr. Owens. So Tim, part of the other raffle, I told you we do another raffle. We do a Christmas raffle every year. And Christmas raffle that raises funds for Toys for Tots and giving toys for different kids and the food bank, etc. in December. And this past year, Tim won the opportunity to participate in all our barrel picks this year. So he's been, every barrel pick we've released this year, he's been part of it, and he'll be going with us to Kentucky here in October. We're going to do a couple more barrel picks for 2026. So let's see what Tim's going to get. Woodinville Cask Strength Rye, 58.35% alcohol. And that was for Tim Owens. Next winner, another local here, New Braunfels, Shauna Villarreal. Get her 4 roses small batch for Shauna Villarreal. 4 roses small batch. Charles Flowers. Charles Flowers, or locally he's known as Mike Flowers. Let's see what he gets. I think Mike was our highest individual donor, so his name's in here quite a bit. He gets a rare character single barrel VTO 013. The Barrel Tap is the group or the store that picked that one. VTO 013, the Barrel Tap. Now it's for Charles Flowers. Yeah, Charles is in there. He's in there, I think, 20 times almost, something like that. Jared Osborne. Let's see what Jared's going to win. He's got every single barrel pick you can think of, so. Jared Osborne is a Whistle Pig Rye Whiskey 12-year-old. That was Jared Osborne with the Whistle Pig 12-year-old. Feel clearly. Feel clearly. Phil gets a bottle of Smoke Wagon Barrel 3963 Specs Pig. I think it's a 7-year-old Smoke Wagon bourbon. So, Smoke Wagon Barrel 3963. That was for Phil clearly. Time to refill the old drink here, so give me a couple seconds here. So I told you a little bit about New Braunfels Bourbon when we started. So we're in New Braunfels. For those who don't know, we're in Central Texas. We are off the Guadalupe River, the same river that caused all the major flood and loss of life up in Kerrville. Fortunately for us, we have a big lake between us and there. So here locally, we had some flooding on River Road, but nothing that impacted us locally. But obviously, the national news focused on the Kerrville area, most likely. You know, they had a ton of damage. The other part of Texas that got hit pretty hard is Lampasas, Burnett, Wilson County. So that's why you saw during our group, some of the groups were outside of that Kerrville area to also hit up some of the other Central Texas areas that were impacted. So we're back to drawing some winners. I think we're at 85 bottles to go. So next winner is Nick Jones. Hey, Nick, I'm trying to get something. Let's see what you get, Nick. Nick Jones gets a Blanton's Gold dump date 5/14/25. Letter T, La Paz, which I believe is a store out of restaurant out of Florida, actually. So Nick Jones with the Blanton's Gold. Drake Woods. Drake Woods. I think Drake's local, if I remember correctly. Yeah, so we got majority of the money and donors came locally, but we did have donors from 35 different states. So some of these names I don't recognize because I'm not here locally. So Drake Woods wins a Wilderness Trail Rye pick from the New Orleans Bourbon Fest. Wilderness Trail Rye, New Orleans Bourbon Fest pick, and that was Drake Woods. Next one. Brian Duncan. Brian Duncan. I know him. He's from Columbus. Columbus, Texas. So I've got two groups. We have New Braunfels Bourbon, which everybody knows. We've got a little group out of Burnham College Station area called Blue Bonnet Bourbon. He's part of that group. So let's see what Brian's going to win. Brian gets an Old Forester Single Barrel Rye, 64.4%. So that's Brian Duncan with single barrel rye from Old Forester, 64.4. Jacob Roth. Jacob Roth. Maker's Mark Cast Strength 2003. So I think it's a 2020, the third release of that. So Maker's Mark Cast Strength release 2003. That was Jacob Roth. There you go, Robbie Kirkland, FRK. Let's see what Robin's going to win. So Robin's he's one of my admins that helps me run the Facebook group. Robbie wins a bottle of E.H. Taylor Small Batch for Robbie. So Robbie, I've got your bottle for, so within our little group, I've got a subgroup, and it's just kind of guys that are close together. We're doing a Big Red finished barrel. So we're going to take Big Red soda syrup, put it in a 5-gallon barrel for a month, and then dump a bunch of E.H. Taylor and Eagle Rare into it. So that was Robbie Curtin with the E.H. Taylor Small Batch. Next name, Brian Darling. Brian Darling. Brian's going to get a bottle of E.H. Taylor Small Batch. I think that should be about the last one of those. The E.H. Taylor Small Batch for Brian Darling. Casey Moffett. Casey Moffett. Phil Austin Rye, Nancy's pick from January of this year. Nancy's pick rye, Phil Austin Rye, January of 2025. Jeff, unfortunately, that's probably the only phone number I still remember by memory. Ever since cell phones, I can't remember phone numbers by memory. So I do remember his. Doug, how are you, sir? Doug's Wiki Bush in the chat. Next winner, Thomas E. Tomsu. Thomas E. Tomsu. He gets Milam and Green Very Small Batch 1.2. Milam and Green Very Small Batch 1.2 or B1.2, and that was Thomas E. Tomsu. Which Ohio Jason is that? Jason K. We got two Jasons from Ohio, and I sent the wrong one bottle once. Next winner, Michael Palm. Michael Palm. He gets a bottle of Copper Sky 19-year-old American Light Whiskey from the KY Mash Boys. Copper Sky 19-year-old American Light Whiskey, KY Mash Boys pick. And that was Michael Palm or Mike Palm. Hey, you're in the chat. I don't know where you're from, but I'll reach out to you. Information I've got. That one's I think that one's a hazmat. So. Evan Smith. Evan Smith. Evan Smith with a Caribou Crossing. Evan Smith with a Caribou Crossing. Cop, I'll be up that way this week, but I won't have time to pack your bottles, so I'll be up there again in a couple weeks. Otherwise, I can send them to you. This is to Mike. I can send it to you via the mail. Next one here. Jordan Reyes. Jordan Reyes. Ten-year Ron is Laco rum. New Braunfels bourbon. It's a really good rum. When we picked this back, I think the first round, we've done a couple of these Ron Laco rums, really good ones. So that was Jordan Reyes, Ron Laco rum. Timothy Bridge. Timothy Bridge. Timothy Bridge gets a JT Mallet single barrel, New Braunfels bourbon pick. So we did this back in October of last year, I think. Ben went with us. Ben didn't pick the one we picked on there, so I'm not sure how many more JT Mallet picks you'll see out there with the change in management there, but I'm biased, but that's a really good pick. Next one here. Charles Flowers again. Mike Flowers. I said he was our biggest donor overall, so his name's in here a ton. Let's see what Mike is going to win. Mike Flowers, Widow Jane, Baby Jane. Baby Jane bottle from Widow Jane. Time for another pour here while we wait. So we talked about, we saw a couple of our picks just go across there. We had the Ron Laco pick. We had the JT Mallet. I think there's our rare character picks in there. I think there's maybe one other picks, but we just did a Elijah Craig pick back in this past March. The bottles up for grabs. People always message me on Instagram, hey, do you have any barrel picks available? Usually the answer is no, but right now I think we're like down to 40-ish, 45 of these bottles. It's a 8-year, 125 proof. It's really good, so highly recommend it. I think it should be here in the next 2 weeks, so you can send me a message on Instagram if you're interested in the bottle, or just go to the website. All right, next winner here. Shauna Villarreal again. Let's see what Sean's going to win this time. Milam and Green, very small batch, batch 2.2. So we got batch 1, and then now we got batch 2.2 to Shauna Villarreal. Carlos Alvaro. See what Carlos is going to win. Carlos gets a Horseshoe Barrel Company barrel 46. Horseshoe Company barrel number 46. The Malort. You can ask Nick about the Malort. He sent me a video of a Malort that they put a bunch of shrimp in there to let him soak in that Malort. So, and then we were in Nashville. We did our Southern Collective pick I guess 2 months ago now. We found Malort cocktails, ready to drink cocktails. Not good. Anyways, next winner here. Martin Aguirre. Martin Aguirre. Martin's going to win a bottle of Old Forester King Ranch. Old Forester King Ranch. We're spoiled with that. There's a ton of Old Forester here in the area, but out of state you can't get this quite yet unless you have a friend. So. Martin with the Old Forester King Ranch. Yeah, Malort Celsius is still not good. Ryan Guevara again. Ryan Guevara. Eagle Rare. I think it's another one of his bottles he donated. So Ryan, you got your EH Sailor, now you got Eagle Rare back. Next one. Stacy Morris. Stacy is going to win a bottle of Still Austin Red Corn for Stacy Morris. Dan Orr, I think it's his third time he's pulled his name. Let's see what Dan's going to win this time. Dan Orth, the Brook Hill 6-year rye Comet. 6-year hazmat rye. I wish you would have drawn that one, Robbie. Cody, I got a red corn for you if you want one. Daniel Hand. Daniel Hand. John J. Bauman Single Barrel Bourbon. That's the Green Label Bourbon single Bauman barrels. So that was John J. Bowman barrel pick for Daniel Hand. Scott Ethel. Scott Ethel. Whistle Pig 10-year rye batch A354. Whistle Pig 10-year A354. Scott Ethel. Jeff, what's the name I'm supposed to be pulling for you? I see all this YouTube names, but I don't know who everybody is. JD Whitmore. JD Whitmore. Let's see what JD wins. This is a Garrison Red, White, and Blue. That's what AIM Blue is. So Garrison Brothers Red, White, and Blue. All right, I'm gonna take a quick break here. Oh snap. All right, give me just a few seconds here. I messed up my drawing, so I got to do some reconciling of the bottles. So give me about 2, 3 minutes and I should be back. So give me one moment. All right, we're back. Sorry about that. I accidentally hit the refresh button and I had to go and reconcile bottles real quick. So JD Whitmore, he just won the Garrison Brothers red, white, and blue. So on to the next one here. Nat Hatchell. Nat Hatchell. Pursuit United Bourbon. 54%. That was Matt Hatchell. 54%. Yes, I blame Ben. Ben probably hacked it because he gets all the good ones. Brian Childers. Brian Childers. Hell House American Whiskey. Leonard Skinner autographed the bottle. Mike Flowers again. Charles Flowers. Blood Oath 11. Charles Flowers. Blood Oath 11. Next one here. Aaron Beal. Aaron Beal. Aaron Beal, 1792 Sweet Wheat. Zachary Wydick. Zachary Wydick. Rare character VER 0170 Raffle's Bourbon pick. That's our barrel pick there. Working on getting another rare character pick. Hopefully I'll find out end of the month if we get another one. Next one. Louis Adio. Buffalo Trace store pick Gunther's Liquor. And that was Louis Adio. Savon Gibson. Savon Gibson. New Braunfels Bourbon Wild Turkey Infinity. So this is one of our Infinity bottles from our Wild Turkey project here. So it's not a store-bought bottle. It's a one-of-a-kind. Yeah, and Jeff Flowers is the biggest donor, so his name is here a lot. Chase Frick. Chase Frick. One second here. I thought we already gave this one away. I'm gonna put a apostrophe. I think I'm pretty sure I already gave that bottle away. I told you about earlier. I messed up a little bit on my thing here. So give me 1 second. I'm gonna go back and review real quick. 1 second. I'm gonna put this back on. Let's kind of pause. All right, we're back. We're back. So yeah, that last one, Charles Chase Frick, figured out we had pulled secondary bottle, so I went ahead to go back at that list, and we're all back to normal. So this is going to be Chase Frick's bottle, not the horseshoe. Chase Frick single rare character single barrel VTO Battleborn wine. VTO 110 Battleborn wine. That was Chase. Eric Mears. Eric Mears. St. Alley's the Herald. St. Alley's the Herald. That's an Iron Root product. Anethol. Anthology. Yeah, Penelope Havana Batch 1. That was Anthony with Penelope Havana Batch 1. Robert Fitzgerald. Fitz. Elijah Craig Barrel Proof C923. That was Robert Fitzgerald. Elijah Craig Barrel Proof C923. Ben's gonna go chase down Fitz to get that bottle. That's his favorite bottle. Chris Atwell. Christopher Atwell. Widow Jane 10-year. Chris Atwell. Widow Jane 10-year. Connor Tamlin. Connor Tamlin. $17.92 12-year bourbon. That was Connor Tamlin. Joe Snyder. Joe Snyder. Smoke Bag and Straight Bourbon. 46.25. I think that's the proof. 46.25. Joyce Yanuzzi. Joyce gets a bottle of Fierce Whiskers 2021 Afterlife Rye. Joyce, you get your rye back. She donated this bottle, so she won it back. I don't know if she's still here or not, but you get your bottle back, Joyce. Chris Owens. Chris Owens. Another one. I thought we already pulled the Buffalo Trace Gunner's Liquor. You already pulled this one, so give me 1 second here. I thought we removed those. Give me 1 second again. I gotta look at this list. Thank ChatGPT. They helped me with the freaking form list, but 1 second again. All right, I'm gonna redraw on this one here for Chris Owens. It was still a repeat bottle here, so I got it figured out. Hopefully, we'll find out. Evan Williams 258, dump date 2/13/24. And that was for Chris Owens here. Matthew Gable. Penelope Toasted, New Braunfels Bourbon pick 2024. That was her first Penelope pick we did. That one's a good one. No, it was Penelope Toasted. That was for Matthew Gable. Flowers again. Charles Flowers. Rustic Cigar House bundle. So this is a bundle of, I think, 8 cigars, a cutter, and a travel case. So my flowers with that. And Rustic Cigar House, they donated also to help cover some of the credit card fees. So big thank you to them on that part. All right, let's see here. Next name. Nick Jones. Nick Jones. Rare character single barrel TKO 218 bennies. Nick Jones with the TKO bennies. Michael Cater. Michael Cater. This one's a repeat one, so give me 1 second here. Let me figure out what the repeat bottle is. All right, Michael Cater. Let's see here if we get the right bottle to draw this time. It's not a repeat. Blanton's dump date 5/19/22, letter B. That was for Michael Cater. Michael Cater again. So back to back for Michael. Let's see what Michael gets on this one. Willet Rye 4-year, 55.9. Willet Rye Whiskey 4-year, 55.9. Michael Cater. Anthony Young. Anthony Young. Hard True Sweet Mash Bourbon, 45%. That was for Anthony Young. John Moxie. Maxey. John Maxey. Blanton's dump date 12/2/24. Blanton's dump date 12/2/24. Next name here. Maurice Howley. Maurice Howley. Rare character single barrel K45, tilted bottle in Dallas Bourbon and Rye Society. And that was Maurice Howley, and that's the tilted bottle in Dallas Bourbon and Rye Society barrel pick. Pedro Infante. Bruce Banner's his Instagram if you're on Instagram. Let's see what Pedro. Rare character single barrel VTO, the chemist. 017, the chemist. And that was for Pedro Infante. Bruce Banner. And there's the bottle itself. I forgot to share it, but next one here. Almost done. Tom Sawicki. Tom Sawicki. Rare character TKO 225 Antioch. Antioch. And make sure we haven't given that one away. Nope, I don't think that one's a repeat, so that one's good. Next one. David Purchase. David Purchase. Evan Williams, single barrel 258. Dump date 2/13/24. And I think that might be a duplicate. Let me look here. Yeah, that one's a duplicate, so let me fix that real quick. Just so you can see what I'm doing, I'm just going to delete the one duplicate. I think we gave this one away already. All right, give me 1 second. Let me go back and clear through this, what we just already gave away. So 1 second. All right, we're still working through it. I think we figured it out right now. So this is winner for David Purchase. Pull his name real quick here because the bottle we had originally pulled was a repeat bottle. We had an issue earlier with the well, I was pulling that list reset itself, so I had to kind of go back through. That's the issue. So Green River Army 25th 100th 250th edition anniversary bottle. So Green River Army 250 that went to David Purchase. Next name, Eric Martinez. Eric Martinez. Will It Rye Whiskey 4-year 53.3. Will It 4-year Rye. Eric Martinez. Jason Kern. Hey, Jason, finally pulled your name. Let's see what you get. Hopefully it's a bottle of Malort. Still Austin single barrel bourbon, Anchor Star Wealth barrel pick. That was Jason Kern. Robert Lally. Robert Lally. Middle West all roasted wheat whiskey double cask collection. Middle West. Brian Morris. Brian Morris. $17.92 small batch for Brian Morris. Bradley Arnett. Bradley Arnett. Widow Jane, Lucky 13. Widow Jane, Lucky 13. That was Bradley Arnett. Timothy Bridge. Timothy Bridge. Timothy Bridge, E.H. Taylor small batch. We were counting, so when I took this little break earlier, I think there was 8 different small batches, so there's a lot of them out there. I think there's maybe one more. Timothy Bridge. Gregory D. Armand. Dr. Greg. Dr. Greg Hartrue Sweet Mash Rye, 58%. Tim Brown, Timothy Brown. Old Forester Single Barrel Rye, 64.7. Tim Brown, Old Forester Single Barrel Rye, 64.7. Michael Riley. Michael Riley. Iron Root Republic 2025 Icarus. That's the Sterling only release. They donated that bottle to us. Michael Riley. Phil Clearly. Phil Clearly. (2023) Garrison Guadalupe bottle 703. So we had a 22, and this is the 23 Garrison Guadalupe. Benjamin Hunter. Benjamin Hunter. What is he going to get? Old Forester Barrel Proof Bourbon, Dandy Liquor pick. Scott Powell. Scott Powell, Old Rip Van Winkle 10-year. That's the good one there. So congratulations, Scott. At least that one stays here in New Braunfels. Jacob Roth. Jacob Roth. Jacob Roth, Penelope Rio, batch 25901. Jacob Roth with the Penelope Rio. Matt Hatchell. Penelope Valencia, batch 3. And that goes to Matt Hatchell. Mike Flowers again, Charles Flowers. Caribou Crossing, Vegas Strong pick. That's a single barrel Caribou. The next one here. David Brothers. Rare character VER Drink Fine Whiskey. That's another of the Dallas Bourbon Clubs. Matt Rippert. He won it earlier. Let's see what he gets this time. Jack Daniel's Barrel Proof Rye, 65.95%. Matt Rippert. Shit, that's what he won. Evan Smith. River Roots Rye Over Texas. That's a 13-year-old rye whiskey, also from Drink Fine Whiskey. There, so Evan Smith. Ryan Guevara. Still Austin Single Barrel Bourbon, Champagne's Carnicero. It's a store out of Louisiana. Jacob Jacob Ledbetter. Jacob Ledbetter. E.H. Taylor Small Batch, Jacob Ledbetter. That should be the last E.H. Taylor if I'm right. Next one. Greg Bourbon. Dr. Greg again. What did Greg get this time? Buffalo Trace. Only bourbon fans pick. Greg Bourbon. Dr. Greg, as we call him. Next one. Cameron Guffey. Cameron Guffey. So Cameron, and then his bottle is Calumet Farms 14-year-old bourbon. Calumet Farms 14-year-old for Cameron Guffey. Eric Gilberg. Eric Gilberg. Eric, Eagle Rare 175 liter. They had the big bottle. Matthew Winner. Matthew Winner. Old Forester Barrel Proof Specs pick 63.1. Craig Wilson. Craig Wilson. Victor Sour Mash Whiskey. Chris Berkheimer. Chris Berkheimer. Trails in 10-year bourbon, 52.5. No, it's Chris Berkheimer. Charles Flowers again. Charles Flowers. Whistle Pig Infinity Remix. That's another one of our barrel projects that we do here. So that was Charles Flowers. Spencer Clare. Spencer Clare. E.H. Taylor single barrel. Single barrel. That's the only single barrel we had in this. We had a lot of small batch, but one single barrel. And that goes to Spencer Clare. J.B. Whitmore. J.B. Whitmore. Old Forester 1924. J.D. Whitmore. Old Forester 1924. Rick Mesa. Rick Mesa. Rick Derricker Single Barrel TKO 214 Liquor Junction. All right, so give me like 2, 3 minutes. Let me verify that we got all the bottles that are all correctly, and I'll come back and close it out. So give me a few minutes here to verify everything. I appreciate everybody, y'all being patient. All right, I got 2 more bottles to give away that we're missing from our list. So I've got 13th Colony Cask Strength Bourbon and another 1792 wheat. So I'm going to pull for those two, and then we are done. I will validate all the bottles, and then we'll go from there. So I apologize for all the, this is live. I could have done it a lot easier, but we tried to do it so it was entertaining. So, all right, let's pull for these last 2 bottles, and we'll go. So. Doug Street. 1792 Sweet Wheat for Doug Street. So that means this last bottle, this 13th Colony Cask Strength, is going to go to Mike Flowers. Mike Flowers with another bottle. So I think that is it. I've got a list. Somebody's been helping me keep a list of all the winners and all the bottles. I'll go through and verify everybody that I have across, make sure we get everything there. Like I said, I appreciate everybody's patience on this, but really the biggest thing is thank you for donating to the cause. You know, the bottle winning is extra. The big thing was raising money for the families and the organizations donating money to help support those that lost either their lives or property or both in the floods that happened here recently. So continue to do a lot of cleanup work out there, volunteer hours and all that. So I appreciate everybody, like I said, donating. This is the fun part, and kind of it's not always the easiest thing to do, especially live, but I'll post the drawings here, list here shortly. If I have a bottle or two missing, I'll do a random drawing and just put those out there. So anyways, I appreciate it. Thank y'all for logging in. Thank y'all for being patient with me on everything there. I hope everybody has a good night. And thank you again. I'll post this list here shortly with all the names. If I missed a bottle or if I have a duplicate bottle, I'll redraw off offline and correct that though. So I appreciate it. Thank y'all very much. Have a good one.